Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here this morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Miles Celic and I'm the Chief Executive of the City UK. And I'd just like to say good morning and welcome to the City UK's 2021 National Conference. It's great to see so many of you here in Bristol, and a warm welcome also to those who are joining us online today. Before we go any further, I'd also like to thank our Platinum Conference partner, PwC, and our Gold partners, Hargreaves Lansdown and Marsh, for their contribution and their support for today's event. It is hugely appreciated and it wouldn't be possible without them. This is the City UK's first hybrid event since the pandemic, and I have to say just how good it is to be back in a room speaking to a room full of people, as well as those who are joining us online. And I'm also very grateful to the speakers who have joined us here today. The City UK's National Conference is an opportunity to focus on the contribution and the role of the financial and related professional services ecosystem across the regions and nations of our country. And here in Bristol, our industry plays a key role in this city's success. Financial and related professional services employ more than 40,000 people here, which is around 13% of all local employment. The industry contributes about £1.8 billion of gross value added to the local economy, around 12% of the city's entire GVA. And in fact, of the 2.3 million people employed in our industry across the UK, 2/3 are outside the M25. And those of you who've been to a City UK event will know that it is not an official City UK event until that statistic has been quoted. But also it's worth considering, given that it is International Trade Week, that we should also highlight the role that the industry plays in generating one of the most impressive trade surpluses in the UK. In fact, it is greater than the combined surplus of all the other net exporting industries put together, and half of those exports come again from outside the M25. So this unique financial and related professional services ecosystem is not just about the hugely successful square mile and the hugely successful London economy, it is about the hugely successful national and strategic asset that this represents, providing high quality jobs and contributing to local economies in every region and nation of the UK, all of which underscores the important role that we have in supporting regional growth and development and the government's levelling up efforts. At the City UK, we've long had an ambitious Regions and Nations programme to promote this agenda and progress opportunities for greater collaboration across the country. This work is led by our fantastic network of city chairs based in some of the UK's major financial and professional services hubs, and through the close partnership that we have with Scottish Financial Enterprise. And it's great to see so many of those people here today. So we have a packed agenda ahead of us and a fantastic lineup of speakers who will cover several key issues for the industry, including how it is driving innovation and transformation, how it can support regional rebalancing, its role in securing a sustainable recovery, and the progress that's being made on diversity and inclusion. So I encourage everybody, both those of you in the room and those who are joining us online, to get involved in the discussions today, to ask questions of our panelists. You can do this online by clicking the Q&A tab next to the live stream, or if you're in the room, you can do it in the old-fashioned way of putting your hand up. There are QR codes on all the tables in the room to join the virtual platform if you would prefer to pose your questions online. We'll also be running several polls during the day, and those can be viewed beside the stream for those watching online, or from the polling menu for those of us in the room. And as ever, please do tweet using @TheCityUK throughout the event. And if you are viewing online, don't worry if you miss any of the sessions. They will all be recorded and made available through our website shortly after the conference. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our first keynote of the day, which comes from the chairman of our City UK Leadership Council, Sir Adrian Montague. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this year's national conference, both to those of you who are at the event in person and those who are attending virtually. I'd also like to warmly thank our conference partner, PwC, for their support, as well as our gold partners, Marsh and Bristol-based Hargreaves Lansdown. After such a challenging 18 months, it really is heartening to see your enthusiasm to get back together, to reaffirm old relationships and to create new ones. I'm just sorry that I can't be with you today, but I do look forward to seeing many of you in person in the near future. Now, throughout history, pandemics have often acted as accelerators of trends in society and the economy. Today, we'll be discussing the industry's role in driving the progress and transformation that we are seeing across the country, covering important issues like innovation, the levelling up agenda, a sustainable recovery, and diversity and inclusion. It's very fitting that we are in Bristol. Not only is it a city with a long and proud history as a centre for insurance, legal services and banking, but it is also one with a burgeoning and innovative fintech sector. And the industry is very active in helping to bolster this expertise. In Bristol, for example, Bloomberg and Deloitte have supported the University of the West of England's Master of Science course in financial technology. I know that similar initiatives are in place right across the country. This underscores the fact that the industry is not just a London success story, it is also a national one. 2/3 of the 2.3 million people employed in financial and related professional services are based outside London. And those jobs are highly skilled, well paid, and much sought after. The industry is an engine for growth and makes a significant contribution to economies and communities across the country. It also is the biggest exporting industry in the UK, with half of its exports coming from outside London. These are just some of the reasons why the industry is at the heart of efforts to accelerate the economic recovery and support the delivery of the government's levelling up agenda. There can be a few people who would disagree with the premise of levelling up, especially against the backdrop of Brexit and the pandemic. But the concept needs stronger policy foundations and clear and effective measures of success. There are high expectations that the Secretary of State for Levelling Up, Housing and Communities will deliver these and some real outcomes. The industry is keen to play its part. Our network of city chairs, based across many of the UK's financial hubs, are central to our own work on this agenda. They'll be helping to take forward many of the proposals we set out this year in our Roadmap to Economic Recovery report. This includes, of course, working with local leaders to shape their recovery strategies. And of course, the regulators have their part to play. Earlier this year, the Financial Conduct Authority committed to opening several regional offices across the country. This will have been welcome news for many firms based outside London, and something which the City UK has long advocated. I'm therefore very pleased to say that we'll be hearing from the FCA's Maggie Craig later today, who I'm sure will touch on this in her remarks. Another issue on today's agenda is climate change, one of the most urgent challenges of our age. Our industry is in the forefront of collective efforts of government and the private sector in tackling climate change, and we have called on government to work in partnership with industry to achieve the UK's 2050 net zero target. This is going to require transformation across the economy at a level not seen since the Industrial Revolution. and the mobilisation of an estimated £90 billion of private capital. It also needs global cooperation to mitigate risk and create investment opportunities at speed and at scale. There's good momentum behind green finance and strong ambitions, but there is still much to be done and significant challenges remain. The lack of common definitions and classification systems, unaligned incentive structures, and no clear agreement on the right targets and goals are just a few of those. As the industry innovates to succeed into the future, attracting and retaining diverse talent is essential. We've seen good progress across the industry to ensure that employment is more diverse, equitable, and inclusive, but there is still some way to go to ensure that it is truly representative of the people and the communities it serves. There are some brilliant minds working hard to deliver on these agendas. We're lucky to have some of those on the TheCityUK Next Generation Leadership Council, a tremendous group of dynamic future potential industry leaders. They are tasked to contribute perspectives and creative thinking to our work. It's also great to see them all represented here today. During my many years in this industry, I found nothing more invigorating than discussing issues or ideas with people with different perspectives or alternative backgrounds, or who approach challenges from new angles. So we are confident, but not complacent, about the industry's ongoing success and competitiveness. Working with government, local and national, regulators and local economic partners, it's critical that we are nimble and innovative, forward-looking and dynamic. We welcomed the Chancellor's vision and strategy that he set out earlier this year, and we look forward to continuing to contribute to the reforms needed to make that vision a reality. We have some tremendous speakers today, but please don't think that this conference is a one-way broadcast. Whether you're in Bristol or joining virtually, I encourage you all to engage in the debates and ask questions of our panelists. I hope you enjoy listening to our expert lineup of speakers delve into these important issues across the day. Thank you so much.